My name is Ryan.m4v. I'm as well third year ILP. These are some of the things that I thought I'd be looking at. Gathering space and obviously play space for the children and for the community as a whole. Simple construction techniques and limited materials that we obviously are looking at. Interpretive and creative play, engage the children and the adults within the community to participate in the design and build. Help to empower and engage all members of the community. As well, integrated but distinct spaces, suitable for all ages, interpretable. Prospect and refuge, I thought that was really interesting. A child scale, multi-sensory, and a few more. Surprise and discovery, seating and shelter, few materials required, again. Range of privacy, activity, and of course group size. So here I've tried to address all of them. And I'll begin, to just get your orientation. There's a school, there's a Commodore. Here's the local road. And maybe the pointer will work. This will be a little bit, okay, great. So there's a picnic area, and the play space is this space here. And this is real kind of simplified, but I'll go into more detail. But this is a maze as well as an outdoor classroom in the center. And instead of using just that small area, I thought to use the whole entire space. And obviously this would be a progressive project over time. So to focus in on the first area that I was showing you, the picnic area, real simple, some pergolas, some trees planted, and the picnic tables. And I know that's been addressed a couple of times with the picnic tables, but we'll have to, see about different seating arrangements, tables, that kind of thing. I know most of their wood that they have down there is round, and that seems kind of silly for a, you need a flat surface to eat on, that kind of thing. But this is what we're familiar with, so that's what I went with. But we'll have to look at maybe other arrangements there for that. And the outdoor classroom, that's at the center of the maze. I envisioned the maze being either adobe brick, which would be ideal because then they can run along the top as well as within the maze, or they could also be one of the larger canes, the orcones, yeah. They could be pounded into the ground as well, following Mark's rule with the 1/3 into the ground. That would be great. So either way, so that could actually be built fairly quickly and fairly easily. And the pergola, again, I like this idea of the shade structure while the tree is growing, maturing. So if you can see it, it's constructed with a hole in the center so the tree can grow up through. And I've got for seating stumps around the outside. And the play space, quite large, pretty extensive, but again, simple construction. So the walls of we're going to call it a snake, is made out of adobe brick, and the soil would be kind of a rammed earth center core. It has a lot of different elements to it. It's got a musical space in here. It's got some steel drums that I'm hoping that are some around. Maybe some restaurants would have some left over, that kind of thing. Again, with the pergola for the shade. Again, with the tree in the center. I tried to keep a consistent design because once you build one, you can then build other ones, that kind of thing. Some tree stumps in here for seating and for jumping around. Let me go on to the next one. I think I've got some closer views. Yeah, so here's the music garden, and or the music, space. I imagine these being, again, with the cane, and they're giant xylophones, so they can, with a big stick. As well, I kind of imagine the children constructing like little chimes, that kind of thing as a project while you're down there, to give them something to do as well. You see there's the drums, there's the stumps, and the pergola structure. What else can I tell you? And to kind of use that whole form of the snake, I also kind of thought that this sort of idea with the stumps to jump, and they're various sizes. They can jump from one side to the other. As well, it's really good for seating. The snake as well would be great for seating. I mean, it's only really, the first step is only about 1.5 feet. And the second one is up about that high. And funny enough, Mark and I didn't actually see each other's designs, but I have these, what I call the mini mountains, constructed exactly the same way as Mark. I don't want to forget anything. And I was kind of thinking that this up here would be it's like a rope climb. So again, simple construction. If you can find some rope, some pretty heavy duty. Did you want to come in? No problem at all. Okay, and here's some of the construction drawings that I did. It's got some dimensions and a description of how to construct these. So here would be a cross-section of the snake. It's got the adobe brick for structured support, and then the rammed earth. There's the mini mountains. And here's the pergolas as well. The large one and the small ones, you would need 3 of the small ones and 2 of the large ones, but they're all exactly the same. You know, the 3 are the same, and then the 2 are the same. And then a quick little diagram of the chimes as well, and the balancing stumps, cross-section of that too. And so there's an overall view of the entire space. So I know what's going to end up happening. You're going to tell me this is way too ambitious and that kind of thing. Here's what I was thinking. I wanted to put together kind of a schedule for you to try to figure out, what could be done at the beginning while you're there and what can be done down. But I didn't know how many people are volunteering. I didn't know what equipment. All that depends on what ifs, that kind of thing. So what I would suggest is that you send down some of these plans, especially for the pergolas, and definitely the need for adobe brick. So if they can get started on some of that before you even get down there, that would be just fantastic. So if you can have the bricks in place and you can have the pergolas, I think you're well on your way. And if you were to take the maize and use the reeds as opposed to the brick, that would cut down on the amount of material you would need as well. But that would be my suggestion. So you can do it definitely in stages. And like I say, it is ambitious. A little bit, for sure. But definitely, and here's the final kind of a base plan view of it. If that isn't possible, that they can't get started on some of that, some of the key areas you could build maybe just this part. As well, and I didn't mention, this is sunken. So that's where I envision you getting the actual soil from to put inside of the snake. So it's a little bit down in, a little bit, So I think I've tried to hit on all the different things that the kids would like. Running along the top of this snake, I think, would just be fantastic. For the parents to sit anywhere along there to watch their kids play in these separate little rooms, I think would be great as well. So that would be my proposal. Maybe get this because it's a big community element to it. It would be a great picnic spot, a spot for the kids to eat their lunch, that sort of thing. I think that could probably get done, and that one, and maybe even the maze in the 3 weeks that you're down there if you used your time efficiently and wisely. But it's definitely an ambitious project. So, and there, I think that's, yeah, thanks.